Hey guys, welcome to another video. Today I'm going to go through my best game, my best loss, and I've got a daily chess game with a player that's newly subscribed, so I just wanted to say welcome. And yeah, just wanted to go through the game of what's happening of the daily chess. So just trying something different. Anyway, for the first game, so we just open up, so e4, e5. Yeah, I see this all the time. This is the Royal Lopez. So he's attacking the knight now. So generally when we do the Royal Lopez, we either can take and they can double the pawns, or we can retreat. So generally we like to retreat when there's a pin. So if this pawn's up here, then we can keep the pin and even end up in that square. And sometimes it even ends up in that square as well. But I like to take, I like to have a long-term weakness. So this is a good habit, just a good start for players, especially when you're still learning, is to actually create these long-term weaknesses and then learn to exploit them towards the end. Okay, so I wanted to defend the pawn. And now we're getting attacked, so we're now pinned. So technically speaking, every time you get a pin, you should remove it. So I didn't at this stage, but I should have removed it, because what happens is if I don't remove this pin, I've got a huge tendency of losing my queen, because I'll just move my knight and then forget about it. So it's a really good habit to break the pin and because you're not able to use this piece effectively, so it's always good to get rid of those pins first. So this is a good response to get rid of the pin. So he's trying to go back. So what happens is now, because he's got the pin, this is exactly what I was saying earlier, what I should have done if a plan B with my bishop. So what happens is now, if I overextend, then I've got a long-term weakness here in front of the king. All my pawns could be disrupted, and that'll be a long-term weakness as well. So that's actually a good plan for black. But I ignore the threat, and now I've created a pin now too. So it's all happy times at the moment. So he's taken the pin away, and I do exactly the same as what he does. So, and he's actually overextended, so this is his long-term weakness going to be. So hopefully he's got two now mounting up. So these little wins should be able to create the overall win. So all these little wins in a game that you should be targeting for. You shouldn't actually always go for the exact checkmate, but you can create those little wins. So now he's got a fork here. So we'll have to take the pawn. Or we don't take the pawn. So he can attack here. So I was thinking of, actually, what I was thinking of is this is a good outpost. So what you can do in games is, in the chessboards, like the knights especially, the reasons why knights create great outposts, or they need to find them, is because they can't easily be pushed off. So if this one is a good outpost because there's no pawns along here that can challenge this knight, and there's no pawn here, so it's already passed. It's already past this point, so this knight can sit here all day if it wants to, and unless they want to trade a bishop for a knight, which is probably, it's not really favorable, and that's why knights are so strong in these powerful squares. Another powerful square would be this one too. It's like there's no pawns that can push that off there. So these squares that are so powerful, you need to start learning to where to locate them. You can actually learn to create them as well. Okay, so yeah, so at the moment I'm trying to learn how to create these outposts and trying to get into a habit of placing my knights in these outposts. So it's very important when you want to go up to the next level to try and create these spots and put your knights in the right place. Okay, so we're activating the queen, and then we took away the pawn. So we've both got long-term weaknesses here. I think I like the bishop here a little bit better, but I do have the knight as well. But I do have this outpost here if hopefully I use it. Also, I didn't have to go there straight away. He's got a weakness here as well. Okay, so he saw that straight away. And now I develop and finally exploit the weakness. So he tries to put attack on my bishop. It's pinned. But by doing that, he's created a checkmate. So, and that's it. That's the first game over. Okay, this is my best worst game. So this game actually did some good moves, but then eventually I've lost it. So we'll try and find the position where I lose it. So this time our player is doing the Sicilian against us. And you sort of learn how there's all these different, this is the open Sicilian. So I like doing this open against the Sicilian, which Mikey D, this is how I play against him as well. But against him, generally, I end up moving my knight up here and then he takes as well. So this position happens quite often. So it's good to have the same positions happen again, because then you learn what not to do. Okay, so in previous videos, what I've done is I used to put my bishop here and put my bishop here. It's actually classified as passive. So having my bishop move to here is passive. So up here is a bit more aggressive. So in some of my games, I've been very aggressive and it pays off. But yeah, so I've noticed it's natural when you go in a losing streak to start playing passive moves, and you sort of hide away and you just wait to lose rather than play to win. So now we've got a pin. So we've got to try and, so good thing about a pin is this piece here is not utilized, so you can't be easily moved or used. Okay, so he removes the pin straight away, so that's very good. We castle, so another development move. So he takes away the pin, because he's got to be careful here, because if we take, sometimes we can take here, and then if we do it right, it can be, you know, fall between the rook and the queen, but I won't get to that now because the bishop's there, and he's also got the pawn protecting. So he ran away. And sometimes he can move here and then he create his long-term weakness as well. Because it looks like, as I said in previous videos, you can tell when your opponents what side they get a castle. Especially if they know what they're going to do. Like if you know that they know a little bit about the game, you can see when they get a castle. And if you have a look at their pawn structure here, he's definitely get a castle on this side, or he should castle on this side, because this side looks pretty weak. Okay, so we're setting up, we're putting pressure on the pawn here. And he's putting pressure on my bishop, so sometimes you have a look at all the pieces, everything that's starting to point, you try and point everything towards the same position. You can actually create a tactic and a strategy. So that's what we're doing now. So create everything pointing towards here. Also, this is pointing here as well, so a couple of pieces are pointing on this side as well. Sorry. Alright, so he's getting rid of the threat there. And now we're creating another threat on the rook. He moves the rook up forward, so I'm not sure if I like that actual move, because what happens is it's starting to control a lot less, and it's not linked up to the queen, so the queen's not linked up to the rook, so it's actually created a weakness. So now we've actually moved our knight with initiative, so creating a tempo. So when you develop your knight forward, and then you create a threat, and also it's defended as well. So you're creating a threat and creating a tempo at the same time. So that's like a double plus. So that's what you really want to do in a game. So he starts taking now. So he takes there, defended. We can't attack that spot. We can still attack here. So this is actually a win for us. So we got him in check as well. So we haven't lost in this position. So everything looks really good at the moment. And now we're just trading. Probably didn't need to trade material there. Took a knight. He's defending some key squares there. Also defending this square as well. So just getting rid of the defender on the d7 square, which is probably a smart thing. I looked at the computer. This was a huge blunder, this move. What was the move? So they're targeting here. That could have been the move, and then attacking the bishop as well. But then they can go down here and attack here. So this is definitely the turning point of my position. So this is where it went wrong. So I shouldn't have done that pawn move, but what I was thinking was putting here, putting pressure on the queen, heading towards that position there. Oh yeah, sorry, the move was actually just to take the other bishop as well. So just to trade off the material. So the computer wanted me to trade the material. So now I didn't do that, and that was a blunder because he just took my bishop. So that was the turning point. Okay, so after this it turned into a shambles, and yeah, I thought I could pin the queen to the king and sacrifice my queen, but I forgot about the bishop. So yeah, this is where it just turned bad, and we just traded all material and ended up being a losing game after this. So yeah, so moral of the story is just remember to take the other piece when you're trading all the materials off. So yeah, so just that one move, just make sure you take that material. Just silly nonsense moves like pawns, and just I've got a tendency of forgetting about undefended pawns in a long-term position as well. So if the queen was here, they could probably take there, and I just wouldn't move that position. All right, so the next game. So this game is just the daily game. This game's not finished yet. So this is just a new chess friend that I've got on chess.com. Kai Dragon, Kai Golden. Yeah, hopefully I pronounced that right. So I've done the Sicilian now. So I've been working on the Sicilian as black, and the King Indian as black as well. So just trying to work out those two openings, because I used to do the two knights defense all the time, and it turned into like the Eroso defense against the, what was it? Against the Eroso defense against, what's that? The Royal Lopez, which I didn't have bad results against that, but I just want to try and understand other different lines as well. Okay, and that's where we're up to at the moment. So simple development moves. So it's not the open, it looks like more of the, it says the old Sicilian variation. So yeah, so at the moment it's looking pretty good. So defending the pawn here, possibly go up here, could do probably the key idea now will be d5. So d5 to crash open the center, and then put a fork on there, and then defending. So it's looking set up now for a good game. Anyway guys, thanks for watching the video, and I'll see you tomorrow. Bye.